Hi, everybody. It's your old pal Chuck. We've reached the end of our look at the deluxe Combiner Wars Stunticons. You might even say we've reached the dead end. Get it? Because he's dead end, and that's the humor's lost on the young. Anyway, this is dead end, and I gotta say, this is probably my second or third favorite Stunticon. It's actually, um, in terms of transformation, as easy as drag strip, but you get a fully functional, articulate, cool looking robot. Except for one thing, and that's his included weapon. This is by far one of the dumbest melee weapons I've ever seen, and that's including Prime Deluxe Cliff Jumper with his engine mace gun thing. I mean, you could hold this as a gun, but there's no real barrel. It's obviously meant to be a club. I mean, it does look cool in vehicle mode, but we'll get there in a moment. It does come with this great, with all the other limbs, um, limb blaster weapon type of deal, but it unfortunately holds a little loose in his hand. So this is the figure of a nice little bit. I think it's a takeoff of a Porsche, but really cool, just looking figure. The limbs, I do have to admit, here in the hips are a little loose, but I don't think that should be that big of a problem in combine mode. So let's get to the transformation right now. Okay, I've gone ahead and returned dead end to a neutral pose. Just want to make sure the arms are straight. The elbows are pegged in there to make the side of the car. They do snap into place. Next, what you want to do is go ahead and rotate in the hands. They're on these faux ratchet joints, very tight. Thankfully, though, there is a little notch there on the back of the fist to help facilitate getting them out. You can then go ahead and peg the legs together. They will stay together fairly well. Once you're done, you might have to give it all a little bit of a squeeze. Next, what you want to go ahead and do is bring the arms up and out to rotate down that shoulder joint, and basically just peg it in. And you want to make sure that they are in all the way, so you just want to give them a little squeeze. They will click into place, and this is how the robot will look. Next, what you want to go ahead and do is bring up what will be the front of the car. It's on a series of double hinges, and this will just peg into the front like so. Go ahead and bring down what will be the windshield. That will help secure things into place. Make sure it's all pegged in, nice and neat. Go ahead, grab the chest plate here, flip it up. That will cover up Dead End's face. And now you come back here to the legs, which I think is a great little bit of transformation. You're going to go ahead and open these front panels just like so. Rotate the hips around. You can do this before you peg in the arms, after, it's up to you. And then what you want to go ahead and do is close up the legs just like so. And then come in around and close up these panels. Make sure they peg in underneath the arms, just like that. Give it a squeeze. Everything's lined up. And here you have Dead End in its car mode. Now, coming along to weapon storage. As you can see, there are holes here on the side. Perfect for plugging in the exhaust pipe. But you have a problem. While it looks really cool, you only have one of these pipes, so it looks a little uneven. Now we come to the limb. And I have to say, since getting this figure, I've spent many days trying to figure out an integrated weapon configuration like we saw on Drag Strip, Breakdown, and Off-Road. And I just can't find it. There is a little clearing here, so you want to think that maybe the handgun will just, foot gun will just sit back there. There is a gap here in the bottom that I was thinking maybe the thumb could slide into, but it just doesn't work. The only thing I can think of is that to preserve the integrity of vehicle mode, because there's no fins or anything like that to sneak a port or a peg on, they left out the special weapon integration. There is still a hole here in the top that you can go ahead and peg the weapon into this way, but then it's upside down, whereas all the other Stunticons were facing right side up. Okay, we've gone ahead and removed the weapons. Now we're going to do limb mode. From car mode, it's much easier to go straight into the leg, which we'll do first. So what you want to go ahead and do is get a nail in here or bend the hood back slightly that you can get in there and flip back the windshield. Then what you want to do is grab this whole section, which is the chest, head, and hood of the car, and just fold it all the way back. You're not going to accordion it back like for robot mode. You're just going to fold it straight back so it's flush like so. Then you can come in here, grab the connector port, and then go ahead and plug the foot in just like that. And here you have the leg mode. Very similar to breakdown. Obviously I think the transformation was kept that way so you would have the same aesthetic. Very nice. I do enjoy how it looks. I know some people have said that they don't like the exposed joint. I think it's fine. So this is it for leg mode. Let's take a look at arm mode. We're going to start in leg mode. I mean, realistically, it's easier, as you'll see, to go from robot mode to arm mode, but we're here anyway, so we'll just stick with it. You want to keep the hood and windshield configured like this. Obviously, you're going to rotate the combiner port down so it's facing out. What you want to go ahead and do is open up these panels here for the legs. You want to go ahead and swing them out. And while we're doing this, there is something I do want to mention for this is actually good for this mode, for arm mode, as well as robot mode. First, for arm mode, what you want to do is unpeg the legs just so you can flip down that little combiner port. That's actually really ingenious how they have that worked in, and there is like pegging and gaps to help secure it in place. But I now want to bring your attention to these knee sections. As you can see, right where my thumb is are these little divots. There are tabs on the inside of these panels that you want to make sure line up properly and with those divots. That way the arm will close properly. I'm sorry, not the arm, but the panels will close properly, and you'll have less gapping that way. So next, what you want to do is come in, and we're going to bring the arms back up like we're going into robot mode. But instead, now what you want to do is there are little slots right there on the inside, right where my finger is, and there are tabs right there. And you're just going to want to angle this in so the those tabs line into those slots just like so. This is sort of like what we do with drag strip in terms of getting that like V fan shape. I mean, they don't peg in tightly. I mean, there's no click or anything, but it will work like that. So depending on how you want the arm situated, you just go ahead and you're going to rotate the hips around. So basically, you have the front of the car facing the I should say the top of the car, top of the rear of the car. There we go. We're being very specific. And then so you have that again, that double elbow joint, just like so. And then what you can go ahead and do is grab the hand limb and peg it in, just like that. Now you're gonna have to make sure it pegs in because it has to go in all the way, and there is some framework around here that you'll have to get the hand around. I mean, it fits in. The hand is not blocked. You do have, the wrist rotation just like so. But here you have dead end in its arm mode. And actually, I think because drag strip is the right arm, dead end would be the left arm. So you just want to flip them around just like this. And hey, you can rotate the hands. If you leave the thumb like that in a neutral pose, you can just flip it around. I, of course, like to bring the thumb up just a little, but regardless, here you have Dead End's arm mode. Dead End is a great figure and a perfect update to the classic Stunticon member. While I can't recommend this figure as a standalone toy like I can off-road, if you've already bought most of the Stunticons, you might as well pick them up. What's interesting is this mold is going to be retooled into Streetwise for the Protectobots, and I think that's a perfect use of this mold, since it's one of the easiest transformations in the line, but you get a perfect, fully functional robot, as I said in the intro. As of this recording, which is March 4th, the Stunticons should be hitting online and then mass retail outlets fairly soon. This is your old pal Chuck for Dead End. We'll see you next time.